petition number 1, Mutuma has been found dead and his body in the city mortuary. A quick check with the fingerprints have confirmed that it is him and is a petitioner in this particular matter. This information has come to us while the proceedings were going on in court. And I would like to say that the issue of habeas corpus in relation to police, the police were specific that these people were not in their custody and were not arrested by themselves. So it is also upon, and it's a requirement of the law, for the police also to investigate and find who then abducted these people and killed them. That responsibility solely rests with the police. And although the police today have said that information is not forthcoming to them, I'd also like to urge the public that whoever has information into all the missing people, it is also good to pass it to the police. But the families of these abducted people and the deceased have also said when they went to police, they were given a very difficult time by the investigators. So the story which was brought to court is not the real story, although they have confirmed that they don't have the bodies nor the persons as police, but there must be other state actors or other agents or criminals who the responsibility solely lies with the police. And I want to say that the case of abduction has become a very serious public matter. I want to defend the Law Society. It has been accused of being busybodies. I want to say that the Law Society are not busybodies. They followed the law. When there is a matter of public concern, Parliament should be concerned. These matters, in fact, should be brought as motions as soon as the House opens, so that we debate. And the House also summons the police chiefs to come and tell us their story in the Parliament, so that Kenyans can know exactly what is happening with abduction. In fact, there must be a public inquiry. You know, we should have a public inquest into abductions and into these deaths before a magistrate, so that can also bring it forward.
Welcome to the bold analysis. The puzzle of abductions should be unraveled, and I don't think the state have the latitude of running with the escape narratives of we don't know, he's not under our custody, we are investigating. You know, something is simply not working out. Why am I saying? One of the missing Mlolongo men, Justus MUTUMWA, was found dead today. This is the body, this is the image of Justus MUTUMWA Musimi. Justus MUTUMWA, Mwau, Martin Mwau, Karani Mwema, and Stephen BC Kavingo went missing on December 16th and 17th. They went missing. The four were reportedly taken by masked individuals believed to be police officers, December 16th and 17th respectively. That is 45 days since they went missing. Justus Mwema today was found dead in Ruai, and his body was moved to city mortuary in Nairobi. According to his family lawyer Dan Manzo, Mutumwa's body was found while the court proceedings were going on to determine the whereabouts of the four missing Mlolongo men. A quick check of fingerprints by the family confirmed that indeed that was him. 45 days after they went missing, despite mounting a public outcry and repeated calls for answers, the police continued to deny holding them in their custody. And while appearing in court today, the police IG Douglas Kanja and the DCI boss Amin denied having taken the four into custody and claimed the police were involved in their disappearance. The two were summoned in a court by Justice Chachamwita to explain the disappearance of the four, and they failed to appear in earlier summon. 5 times they failed to appear, but today they appeared. And while in court, they said they don't have the suspects. They cannot release them, they cannot issue a statement because they don't have them.
I swear by the Almighty God and evidence that I give before this court touching the matters in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Kindly introduce yourself to court.
My Lord, I am Mohammed Ibrahim Amin.
Mohammed Ibrahim.
Amin.
Mohammed is double M or single M?
Single M, my Lord. And I'm currently the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, my Lord.
Abwana Amin, you're here pursuant to orders of habeas corpus issued by this court on the 8th of January this year. What would you like to tell the court in respect of those orders?
That the missing persons are not under the custody of the National Police Service. We have not arrested them, and they are not under our custody. Under the circumstances, my Lord, we can neither produce their bodies pursuant to the writ of habeas corpus, nor can we formally prefer any charges against them. I submit, my Lord.
Thank you very much.
The last word was you cannot?
We cannot prefer any charges against them in view of the fact that they are not under our custody, my Lord. The Constitution, my Lord, is very clear. Any persons arrested by officers of the National Police Service must be arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction within 24 hours. And we are very much alive to that provision of the Constitution, my Lord. Finally, my Lord, is given an opportunity. The lead investigating officer, Mr. Wachira, is present in court, and he can update the court on the current status of the investigations.
Ladies and gentlemen, what exactly is wrong? Because, and I want us to, the orders, the court ordered, Justice Chichamwita ordered the DCI to produce the 3 men who were abducted in Mlolongo in December. The same people that were abducted with them in December 20, by the same time were released somewhere early January. These 4 were still missing, and now the body was found in Ruai. I want us to try to analyze 45 days. Let's pursue an angle that it is a criminal gang. It is a criminal gang. Let's try to assume the criminal gang abducted the 4 men. So within 45 days, who is this civilian who can keep someone in his house for 45 days? Hiyo nyumba iko na family? Probably no. Can you keep it in your house? Probably no, because of your family members and other people can always visit. And of course, even some of your family members can even betray you. Your wife, your children may even explain. So I want to, of course, I want to eliminate. I want us to use elimination method. This cannot be in someone's house, even if it is someone's residence. It is not very possible. Number 2, let's try to think of a hotel. If it is a hotel, is there can that person be put under a very exclusive room where people won't know where he is and is being given treatment for all that time, 45 days? Who is paying the bill? Do government have his own hotel? No. Can even a criminal gang or a civilian have access to a hotel mwenye naweza eka mtu for 45 days? No. And today, if Mutumwa was abducted by civilian, why did this civilian decide to release the body to be found in Ruai, the day after, let's say, the day that the police bosses are appearing in court? Why is that so? Of course, Justin Muturi have said that he said his son was abducted by NIS. I don't want to think, but let's look at it. Who is this person releasing the body the day the police bosses are appearing in court? Is someone setting it up? Because people are now raising the comparison. People are raising the point that what about the coincidence that ile siku police bosses wanaenda koti wanasema hatujui, it is the same time that the body is being released. The country must be wary of these gimmicks. Now, what even makes it more complicated is what I'm going to show you next. IPOA, which is the body that was mandated to investigate police excesses, and they were even given new chairman under the stewardship of former IBC commissioner, IBC chairman Hassan, said they don't have the capacity to investigate, and in fact, he said they cannot investigate the police involvement in abduction because the police have said they're not involved.
IPOA is 10 years old. It has got an approved staff establishment of 1,300. It's supposed to oversight a police force which was established 135 years ago. It is 120,000 police force spread across the whole country. So you can imagine, if you can, the scope of work. And despite the staff approved establishment, we have 284 staff. 284 staff. Out of these, 77 are investigators. And that's where the core of the work is, investigating. And we want investigating staff of 600, and we have 77. So again, you see the challenge of the ones that we have are already overworked. There's burnout. And so we are going to go back to Parliament, meet with the Committee on Administration of Justice and National Security, and get them to give us more funding. I want to actually say that the staff that we have are very professional and very competent, but they have worked, and we need to give them more support.
We have 34 convictions, but we have over 250 ongoing court cases across the country. These are only the criminal cases we have investigated and have been approved by the Director of Public Prosecution, and they are currently running in court. But besides that, we do a lot of also administrative and disciplinary recommendations, which we have been sharing with the National Police Service Commission and, of course, the Inspector General of the Police. So those are the numbers. Besides that, on the issue of abductions, we are, of course, seized of the matter. We have been making follow-ups. We have been on it. We have been investigating. On the recent cases, the position of the authorities is that we have an ongoing investigation, which at this point we can't be able to say the police are involved or the police are not involved. It's work in progress in terms of investigation, and we'll be able to give a conclusive position upon finalization of those investigations. Thank you.
I'm telling you, you listen to some things and they can even make you sick. Such statements can make you sick. So, this is something that is here. There is something that is now happening, and it is here with us. We cannot run away from it. IPOA is saying, we don't know. We cannot investigate the police. We don't have the capacity to investigate, number one. Number two, we cannot investigate the police involvement on abductions if they've said they're not. So that makes me wonder, if someone is killed and the father or the relative of the deceased victim is saying, my son was killed by the police, and the police says it's not us, do IPOA stop investigating? And of course, I strongly believe IPOA should be disbanded and should not waste taxpayers' money paying people salaries in such a commission, or rather that commission, because it has never done anything that you can say tangible. Now let me tell you, if you want to know this country, things are very interesting. In Nakuru for the last 2 weeks or so, there have been a fight and a protest between the locals and some police and KWS officials. And then one man, Brian Odhiambo, was arrested by KWS officials over some, charges of trespass. So recently, the police said that that man, because the residents were demanding that, give us Brian dead or alive. Do you know what the police said? They said that that man disappeared from the police custody.
Mother Elizabeth Auma and his wife Alvi Okello arrived at the Nakuru law courts, hoping that KWS would either produce Brian or provide information on his whereabouts as ordered by the court last week. However, none of this happened.
Nilimbebea jacket akuja vae, amekulwa na baridi ya kutosha. Na sijamuona.
Watupatie tu Brian venye hako tu. I'll just take him the way he is, whether dead or alive. Akiwa muumizwa, I'll just nurse the wounds.
Instead, KWS and the DCI responded to the petition by way of affidavits, responses which did not satisfy Brian's family, whose lawyers now want to physically cross-examine the DCIO and the KWS officer who arrested Brian on 18th January for trespassing into Lake Nakuru National Park.
We have received responses, they're quite lengthy, and we sought for time to have a look at them, one day to be precise, so that then we also file our responses and we can then come back on 30th.
In his affidavit, DCIO Ngeiwa disclosed that 6 KWS officers were under investigation for abduction with the intent to commit murder. The officers include Senior Sergeant Francis Washira and Rangers Isaac Ochieng, Evans Kimayo, Michael Wabukala, and Alexander Lorogoi. Brian was reportedly placed under the custody of Ranger Abdirahman Ali Sudi after his arrest. Ngeiwa further revealed that Brian was arrested at around 11 a.m. with the last signal from his phone traced between Nakuru State House and Karunga Estate. The phone was switched off between 1:57 p.m. and 4:07 p.m. on the same day. In his affidavit, Ranger Abdirahman claimed that Brian excused himself to make a short call, but instead he fled. As a result, he argued that he was unable to comply with the court order to produce him dead or alive.
He is not in the custody of the respondents. That's the first and second respondent.
And they don't have him. Abductions is making this country look like a banana republic. It's making this country look like a banana republic. And it is time, as the president and as Kindiki speaks about the track record, the political class should actually, the ruling class should actually pick up this discussion. If they think that they should not keep quiet, the same way you're talking about X number of jobs in affordable housing, X number of jobs people exported, I don't know which country, the same way we're making that pitch, we should be confident and brave enough to make a statement about the abductions. It is not normal. 45 days, Jamani. 45 days. And if this is a criminal gang, then why are we not seeing a crackdown? going to explain to the parents of Justus about what happened? And now we found one in Ruai. One has been found in Ruai. The other 3 are still missing. No one knows when, where. And today the police is saying, we don't know. I don't want to believe that he was killed and thrown there for the last 45 days he's been lying there. Probably just killed the other day. Or maybe was killed but was being kept somewhere, then they're just finding a way. I think we need to be very intentional about this issue of abduction. And this is what should happen. As the country gears towards 2027 general election, we should be brave enough to make sure that violation of human rights is in the ballot. It should be in the ballot. The political class should not have the latitude of saying, we don't know, we don't have them, it is not us. Then who? Because at the end of the day, you are the one who should be able to investigate. They're talking about doing investigation. As at the time the bodies are found, someone should ask, so where have you reached with your investigation? Where is that investigation going through? And the president should not accept to get to that election with a tainted hand. Because if you ask me, I can categorically say that if the answers are not given, then the president's hand is tainted. If the answers are not given. It is very sad. It is a very sad incident. We should not be losing people instead of protecting lives.